Got one more cup too. Bubba, sure. All right, we love. All right, Shalom, Yabashim Shapata, Yabashim Alataba, Hashem Yabashah. We're going to go ahead, since we're a little bit late, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the Sabbath service. Again, because we don't have all of the equipment, we're still working on getting the equipment. There's some of the traditions that we cannot keep right now, but as we're going through it, I'll voice it to make sure that you know how the Sabbath service is supposed to be conducted. And so to commence the Sabbath service, to start, we would sound the trumpet. You understand? The water. No, that's me. That's how I crazy. The water. We would, sound the trumpet to commence it, to let everyone know that the Sabbath service has started. And then we're going to call up the first priest, and that's what we're going to do now.
Mashar, Ban Yahawda, Ban Ashala.
Mashar, Ban Yahawda, Ban Yashala.
Yahbashim Yashabakta.
Yahbashim Yashabakta. Okay, let's just get into it.
Okay.
We would, drink the wine, which is part of the tradition of the Sabbath service. But of course, since we don't have it, we're gonna jump right into it so we could kind of catch up back on time. So everyone with a medium, which means to stand, Wapayakudam, which means to turn and face the east. Then we're gonna get right into the prayers.
Come.
Let's start with the Lord's Prayer.
Come. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malafaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Hakawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathaniel, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Wala'ah, Tabayana. Banasai one. Abo. Habashanawa. Mawak Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Malafaka. Malakwath. Wahatala. Wahataparath.
Wahatapara.
La'awalayum. Aman.
In the English. Our
Father.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven.
Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be. Then you go prayer for the blessings. Come. Okay. Right. Okay, come. It's the prayer for the Hakak, the power in Hebrew. Yahbashim. Yahbashah. Baba Gashah. Nathaniel. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kalmaka'Allah. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakoyim. Hamatiyam. Hakak. Al-Rakawaf. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashim. Yahbashah. The water. Aman. In English, Yahweh.
In
the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to
power to raise the dead.
The
power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
So be. Another blessings.
God. Is a prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Ahalayim. Matazba'ah. Alawat Yahana. Ha Alawatiyim. Ha Saranyim. Ha Kotazayoyim. Ha Koyoyoyim. Wa Hakwafim. Yahweh Bashim. Yahweh Shah. The water of Aman.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And
the angels.
Commander General Yahan. The general.
The captain.
The officer.
The trooper. And the sister.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
So be.
Psalms 121. Come. This is Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haranyum, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Azari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, Anna, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashashah, Shawam, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazak, Alya, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afn Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar Taza'af, Wabawafka, Ma'itha, Wa'ai Abalam.
In the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From which cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help coming from the Lord.
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 Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
Now, Psalms 83.
Come. It's the Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damayalaka. Al-Takarash. Al-Tashakwat. Al. Kayahana. Awaya Bayaka. Yahama Yawan. Ra'ash. Al-Amaka. Yaira Yawan. Sawada. Wayatha Yatazawa. Al Tazapawanya. Amara. Lakawa. Wanakayadi. Magawa. Wala Yazakar. Sham Yasha'Allah. Awada. Kaya. Nitazawa. Laba. Yakadawa. Al Yaka. Bayarath. Yakarawath. Alahaya. Adawam. Wayashama Alayam. Mawa'aba. Wagariyam. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalak. Palashaf. I'm Labaya the what?
I'm Labaya the what?
Salah. Aisha Laham. Kamariyan. Kasaya Sarah. Kayadaban. Banachal. Kayashwan. Nashanwa. Bayan the Ira. Ayawa. Dama. La'adama. Shayathamwa. Nadayamawa. Karab. Wakaza Bak. Wakaza all Manai.
Because of the all Manai.
Kanas and Kamara. Ashar. Amara. Naira Shah. Lanawa. Af. Na'athwa. Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagalika. Kakwash. Lapaya Raka. Ka'ash. Ira. Wakalaba. Talahat. Arayum. Kantarapama. Basarika. Ubasa Wapaka. The Balaham. Mala'ah. Panyaham. Kalawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shamka. Yahau. Yabashwa. Wayabalaw. Wayakapara. Wayabadu. Wayada'ayu. Kayatha. Shamka. Yahau. Labaku. Alawan. Al-Kalaha. Aratazah. In English, keep not thou silence. Oh Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still. Oh Yahweh. For lo. Thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted. Against thy hidden one. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Yasha'Allah. May be no more remembered. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. And the Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Isupk
is
also joined with them.
Is also joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Selah. Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles.
Make their nobles.
Like Oreb.
Like Oreb.
And like Ze'ed.
And like Ze'ed.
Yea. All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zebah.
As Zebah.
And as Hamunah.
As Hamunah.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh.
The houses of Yahweh.
In possession.
Oh
my power. Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
As the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
Persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled forever.
And troubled forever.
Yea.
Let
them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish. That men may know.
That they may know.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Sir, when your shop needs to be seated. Yeah, whatnot. So we gotta get that. We need that torch. All right, again, just this Isupk Sabbath service. We're gonna jump back right where we left off from last week, which is
Genesis chapter 10 and 2.
Genesis chapter 10 and verse. We're gonna start at 3 then.
Okay,
right? Or are we starting at 2? Which one?
I believe it's 2, sir.
All right, so we ended off at 1. Yeah, we stopped at Genesis chapter 10 and verse 1. We're gonna start back up at Genesis chapter 10 and verse 2 in the Hebrew. If anyone have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask a question about anything that we're bringing up. We're ready. Take it whenever you're ready.
Kind of pass it. Okay. Book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 2 in the Hebrew. Banayah, Yapath, Gabar, Wamaga, Waga, Mamagawaga, Wamadaya, Wayawana, Wayawan, Wathabal, Wamashak, Wathayaraya, Wathayaras. Verse 3. Wayabanaya, Gamar, Ashakanaz, Wabaraya, Path, Wathaga, Ramah. Verse 4. Wabanaya, Yawana, Alayasha, Watara Shayasha, Katayan, Wadada Nayam, Wadadanya. Verse 5. Ma'alah, Napara de Yawa, Napara de Wa, Ayaya, Hagarayim, Ba'arataza Thumb, Ayash, Lalashanawa, Lamasha Pachatho, Bagawa Yaham. Verse 6. Wabanaya, Kham, Kawash, Wamatazarium, Wapawat, Wakana Ayan, Wakana Ayan. Verse 7. Wabanaya, Kawash, Sabah, Wayala, Wasabath, Wasabata. Wara'ayma. Wara'ayma. Wara'aymaha. Wasabathaka. Wabanaya. Ra'aymaha. Shabah. Wadadana. Verse 8. Wakawash. Yilad. Atha. Namarat. Hawa'a. Hachal. Lahayaw. Yahawaz. Lahayawath. Gabar. Barataza. I think that's something like this.
That's verse 7.
Yeah, that was 10 and 8. So
let me see. We started at 2, right?
Come on.
You're right. All right, so go back to verse 2 in the English.
Come on.
Also, when you get a chance to share it, make sure you go and share and like the video.
Okay, come on. The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 2 in the English.
Mm-hmm.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog,
Mm-hmm.
and Madai, and Yavan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras.
Now, right here, we're just going over the generations of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These are their sons, and the Lord is pretty much mapping out how the nations are now going to be created. These nations are going to start to change, like, you understand, like, and become different nations that you see today, like the Chinese man, the Russian, the Australian man, Hawaiian, so on and so forth, the African. These are his nations, and this is how the Lord is starting to separate these people. Right, keep going.
Okay. Verse 3, and the sons of Gomer, and Ashkenaz, and Rapath, and Togarmah. Verse 4, and the sons of Javan, and Elisha, and Tarish, and Kittim, and Dodanim. Verse 5, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands.
Now, like an aisle, like imagine you're in a grocery store, right? And each section is an aisle, right? Meaning that these aisles are separated from each other. And so this is how the Lord, again, is starting to separate each other, which is a cut to what Christians teach as far as nations supposed to be coming together. You understand? Like if you ever worked inside of a grocery store and you in charge of stocking up products and goods on the aisles, you know that if you find a box of cereal on the aisle with the Mexican tacos, you know that box of cereal don't belong there. You got to take the box of cereal, put it back on aisle 3. You understand? Because that's where the cereal is at. That's where the breakfast items is at. And that's why this is the Lord separating us like that. You understand? In the same way.
That's right.
Keep going.
God. Everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations.
After everyone and their tongue and their families and their nations. That's right. You understand? It's separating these people very, very clear. It ain't talking about a group of people that's all together. You understand? This is talking about different nations who have their own languages and they have their own people. That's right. You understand? Their own characteristics, their own ways of living, their own way that they like to build houses, things like that. You understand?
That's right.
Keep going.
Okay. Verse 6, and the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. Verse 7, and the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Septah, and Ramah, and Septeka, and the sons of Ramah, Shabah, and Dedan. Verse 8, and Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
Now, you understand, we're going to stop there and get back into it, but Cush had Nimrod. You understand? We all know who Nimrod is or who he became. You understand? And Nimrod is now becoming to be a mighty one in the earth, meaning he is someone who is seeking to take power, right? He's not just being born and tilling the earth and just working in the field. Right. This is someone who is now deciding to go ahead and take power for himself, to start to take control, to become a mighty one in the earth. You understand? Let's see, it was one more point I missed out on. Gentiles, right? In verse 5, like these are the out of the Gentiles, right? Meaning that the sons of Japheth were heathen. You understand? Right. They weren't of God's chosen lineage or God's chosen people. these were Gentiles, right? That was one part I missed. And so now we're going back to Genesis chapter 10 and verse 9 in the Hebrew.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 9 in the Hebrew. Hawa'ah, Hayaha, Gabar, Tazayadah, Lapananya, Yahweh, Al, Khan, Ya'amar, Kanamarad, Gabawar, Tazayadah, Lapananya, Yahweh. Verse 10. Wathahaya, Ra'ashiyath, Mamala, Kathayu, Mamala Kathawa, Babal, Wa'amarak, Wa'arak, Wa'akad, Wakalana, Barakaza, Shanaira. Verse 11. Mana, Harataza, Hahawa, Yataza'a, Ashawar, Wayaban, Atha, Nayanawa, Wa'af, Rachabah, Ira, Wa'af, Kalach. Verse 12. Wa'af, Rasan, Bayana, Nayanawa, Wabayan, Kalach, Hawa, Ha'ayira, Hagadala. Verse 13. Wa Matazarayim, Yalad, Atha, Lawadayim, Wa'af, Anamayim, Wa'af, Lahabayim, Wa'af, Napatha Chayim. Verse 14. Wa'af, Pataras Sayam, Wa'af, Basalah Chayim, Ashar, Yataza'awa, Masham, Palashathayim, Wa'af, Kapathariyim, Sa. Verse 15. Wakanaya, Wakana'ayim, Yawalad, Atha, Tazayidan, Bakarawa, Wa'at, Khafa. I think that's
15?
Yeah, come.
All right, now we start back at verse 9.
Come.
Now we're talking about who, Nimrod, right? Cush begot Nimrod, became to be a mighty man in the earth, right?
That's right.
So now we start back at verse 9.
Come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 9 in the English. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel,
mm-hmm.
and Erech, and Achab, and Canel,
mm-hmm.
in the land of Shinar.
And these were the beginning of his kingdom, these locations, these places, right? Babel, Iraq, Akkad, and Canal, right? Keep going.
Come, verse 11. Out of that land went forth Ashur,
mm-hmm.
and builded Nineveh.
Nineveh.
Mm-hmm. So and builded Nineveh, and the city of Robath,
mm-hmm.
and Kalah.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12.
Meaning Nimrod is taking over lands now. Remember, because the earth was flooded. So the people there is dispersed, right? And now after Noah, his sons, they're starting to repopulate the earth. But as they're repopulating the earth, Nimrod is not only just being repopulated, but now he's starting to take control over locations, right? He's starting to capture zones and say, you know what, this is our land. We putting borders here. We putting borders here. We're gonna spread out and we're gonna move here, right? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
In Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. And Mizraim begat Lidim and Anamim and Lahabim and Nephatim. Nephatim. Like verse 14. And Paparisum and Kasalum, out of whom came Philistine and Kaphatorim. Verse 15. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth.
All right. So again, like these are just going over the names. So some of these names you understand because some of these names eventually became a progenitor of some great nations like the Philistines or the Canaanites, right? And so that's why some of these names sound familiar. Other names don't sound familiar because these may have been brothers who just didn't do much, right?
That's right.
They just, they didn't have much to do with anything. And so, but really this whole chapter really is just going over generations. So we just gonna try to roll through it. So where was that? That was verse 15.
Okay.
All right, so now we just go back to verse 16 in the Hebrew.
Okay. This book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 16 in the Hebrew. Wa'af, wa'af. Hayabawasiya. Wa'af. Ha'amaria. Wa'af. Hagarah Gashaya. Verse 17. Wa'af. Hachawaya. Wa'af. Ha'aira Hoya. Wa'af. Hasayaniya. Verse 18. Wa'af. Ha'ara Wadaya. Wa'af. Hatazamaria. Wa'af. Hachamah Thaya. Wa'achara. Napatazawa. Mashapah. Chawaf. Mashapah. Chawaf. Hakana Niya. Verse 19. Wayahaya. Kabawala. Hakana Niya. Matazayadan. Ba'aka. Gabaraha. Aid. Aitazah. Isaaha. Ba'aka. Sadama. Wa'aimara. Wa'adama. Watazabanya. Aid. Lashai. Verse 20. Wa'ala. Banaya. Chum. Lamashah. Pachatham. Lalashah. Natham. Ba'aratazal. Bagawayaha. Bagayawan. Sa. Verse 21. Walasham. Yalad. Gam. Hawa'ah. Abaya. Kal. Banaya. Ibar. Achaya. Yapath. Hagadawala. Verse 22. Banaya. Shem. Ayalam. Wa'ashara. Wa'asharwa. Wa'arap kashad. Wa'awad. Wa'aram. So, what did that say? 7 right there.
That's what?
7.
7?
You come. Wait, it's like
Where we stop at? We stopped at
16, I believe. Salaki. Oh no, it's 24. Salaki. Okay. Verse 22.
Oh, where did we stop at?
17, I believe. So 7, 24.
Hold on 1 second. You stopped at 7 day 8. We started at 1. So we started at 16. So read 22, that's it.
Okay. Book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Banayah, Shem, Ayalam, wa Ashawar, wa Ara Pakashd, or Ara Pakash, wala Wad, wa Amar, wa Aram. Let's see about this.
All right.
Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 16 in the English. And the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgase, verse 17, and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, verse 18, and the Abaradite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now these, of course, is your Canaanites, of course, is your Hamites. These are your Africans, basically, who's being created here. Keep going.
Come, verse 19. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar unto Gaza, and as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Zeboim, even unto Lasha.
And we know what Sodom and Gomorrah is, simply because Sodom and Gomorrah became a famous city for their disgustingness, for them practicing sodomite and just being king of monkeypox today. You know,
that's right.
Basically, you understand. But these is what them Hamites were doing, which is why, and this is off topic, but we always say our oppressor is zesty. I don't know what words to say, so I'm gonna say zesty. You get what I'm trying to say, though. But really, homosexuality really started with them Hamitic people, man. Them Hamites, man. It's disgusting. But go ahead. I don't want to get too far off topic.
Come. Verse 20. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations.
Again, this is something that is possessive to themselves, right? They belong to their nation. They belong to their land. They belong to their people.
That's right.
Not to everybody. Keep going.
Come, verse 21. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber.
Now, Shem is who our forefather is.
That's right.
This is the progenitor of who we are. And Eber, of course, is how we get Hebrew, right? This is who created the language that we speak today. Right? Keep going.
Come. The brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. Verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Apharaksa, and Lud, and Aram.
All right, that's 22, right?
Okay.
So now let's go to verse 23.
Come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 23 in the Hebrew. Wabanaya, Aram, Iwatzah, Wachawal, Wagathamar, Wagathar, Wamash. Verse 24. Wa'arap Kashad, Yawalad, Atha, Shalach, Washalach, Wayalad, Atha, Ibar. Verse 25. Wala Ibar, Walad, Shanaya, Banayam, Shem, Ha'achad, Palaga, Kaya, Bayamayawa, Napalaga, Ha'arataza, Washam, Achayawa, Yakwapan. Verse 26. Uyapatan, Yalad, Afa, Alamawad, Wa'af, Shalab, Wa'ath, Khatazara, Mayawa, Khatazara, Mawath, Wa'ath, Yarach. Verse 27, Wa'ath, Hadawaram, Wa'ath, Awazal, Wa'ath, Dakwala. Verse 28, Wa'ath, Iwabal, Wa'ath, Abawamala, Wa'ath, Shabbat. Verse 29, Wa'ath, Awapar, Wa'ath, Chawala, Wa'ath, Yababa, Kal, Allah, Banaya, Yahwapan. Verse 30, Wayahaya, Mawashaba, Mamashah, Ba'aka, Sapara, Hara, Hakwadam.
That's 29.
Oh, that was 36. Right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be talking about.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to verse 20. Where you started at?
23. I started.
You started at 22?
Yeah, I think last one was
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, so 23.
Come on, guys. The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 23 in the English. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gethera, and Mash. Verse 24. And Araphaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. Verse 25. And unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Verse 26. And Joktan begat Almodad, and Shalef, and Hazaramath, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dekla. Verse 28, and Obal, and Bimel, and Sheba. Verse 29, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan.
Back to verse 30 now.
The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 30 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya, Mawashab, Wayabashab, Mawashabam, Mamashah, Ba'aka, Sapara, Hara, Hakwadam. Verse 31. Allah, Banaya, Shem, Lamashah, Pachatham, Lalashah, Natham, Lalashah, Ba'aratazafam, Wala, Lagawa, Yaham. Verse 32. Allah, Mashapacha, Banaya, Nacha, Lafawa, Ladafa, Bagawayaham, Wama Naparadawa, Hagawayam, Barataza, Hachar, Hamabawal, Pa. The next chapter. Book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1 in the English. In the Hebrew. Wayahaya, Kal, Harataza, Shapah, Achath, Wadaba, Rayam, Akadaya. Verse 2. ويهيا بنسعي مقدام ويمتزع ويمتزع أو بقوايا بعراتزا شنايرا ويشباوا Shem. Verse 3. Wayamarawa Ayasha Allah Ra'aihawa Habaha Nalabanaya Nalabanawa Nalabanaha Labanayum Unashara Paha Lashara Paha Wathahaya Laham Halabana Laabana Wahachamar Hayaha Laham Lachamar. It's verse 4. Verse 4. Wayamarawa Habaha Nabanaha Lanawa Ira Wamagadal Warashawa Bashamayim Wana Aisha Lanawa Shem Pana Napawatza Ira Panaya Kal Arataza.
It's 4.
Okay.
All right. I stopped at 4. Let's go back to chapter 10 and verse. It was 30.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 30 in the English. And their dwelling was from Meshah, as thou goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. Verse 31. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 32. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations. And by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
And so now you talking about, you got to picture this scene, man. Like the earth just got flooded. And Christians have a problem with separation today.
That's right.
We talking about literal families being separated.
That's right.
These are the sons of Noah. You understand?
Okay.
Like it ain't like today where it's clear as day that the Russians is just Russians. I mean, you've never met a Russian in your life, probably.
Right.
Probably never met a true Vietnamese man in your life. You understand? But
right.
you have such a problem with separation. These are the literal sons of Noah. These are his children.
That's right.
And the Lord is separating them, man. They don't have their own language. They don't have their own nation that is together. All of these children, all of these nations of people are all separated from each other in their own isle, as the scriptures say, man.
That's right.
Understand? Go to verse 1 in chapter 11.
It's book of Genesis, chapter 11 and 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
And the whole earth was of one language and one speech. You understand? Because they all came from Noah, so they had to communicate in one way. Keep going.
Verse 2. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there.
And so now this group of people, they started traveling. You understand? They found a plain land. A plain is like a flat surface area. You understand? A massive flat surface area of land. And this is where they started. They called it Shinar, and this is where they, started to live. Keep going.
Verse 3. And they said one to another, go to, and let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And
so basically, they would go out and they would find like straw, like a type of straw, like a grass. And they would go and take mud or clay, and they would mix the clay with the mud. They would mix the mud, clay, or whatever with the grass, and they would form it into a brick, and they would burn it. They would burn it and burn it and burn it, either burn it with fire, or they would burn it in the sun and let it dry and let it get hard, which is how they would start to make their houses, how they would make infrastructure, right? This is the same way we did it in the land of Egypt when we was enslaved in captivity under Pharaoh.
Okay.
Right? It's where you stop at? Verse 4.
Verse 4. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven.
So now they had the idea to build a city in the land of Shinar, but in the middle of the city, well, let me not say in the middle of the city, but in the city, they would also have a tower, right? And of course, this tower is famously known as the Tower of Babel, right? And this tower was supposed to go up into the skies, right? Into the heavens, because of course, even back then, like the scripture says, it's nothing new under the sun, but even back then, they wanted to reach to the heavens of God. They wanted to go up there to the stars, man. You look outside looking up, and you like, man, you know, I wonder what the hell is up there. So of course they wanted to go up there and dwell with the Most High or to see what's going on. And so they started to build this tower. Keep going.
Okay. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
And so now they're trying to organize. They're trying to do what Christians are trying to do.
Right.
They're trying to come together and say, you know what? We're all human beings. We're all flesh and meat on the inside and blood. And we're all one people. What they say, there's only one race, the human race. This is what they try to do. They said, let us come together under one name, lest we be scattered abroad. And they didn't want to be scattered abroad. Why? Why they didn't want to be scattered abroad? Because sleeping with them Caucasian women was just too great.
Right.
You understand? Sleeping with them Chinese women was too great. And of course, these were different names back before, you know, of course, the Moabites didn't come just yet. But these were different nations. Again, the Lord already separated them into isles. But yet we decided to come together because, you understand, that owl next door, that other owl, they partying on that other owl on Thursday. We got to go over there and party with them.
Right.
You understand? So, of course, with them partying and drinking and marrying with each other and saying that, you know, that seeing what that Chinese and that Mexican baby look like, that Chinese and Mexican woman or whatever, I don't know, whatever configuration you come up with, you like, damn. You understand? The scriptures say they started to see that the daughters of men were fair. They were beautiful, right? And it was rough. So they wanted to come together, make their own name so that they could stay with each other, so they could continue to party with each other and continue to marry with each other instead of just having to choose from niggas.
Right.
You understand? Instead of just having to choose Mexicans or Native Indians, they wanted to have a plethora of variety of choices to sleep with.
Right.
You understand? A plethora of variety of cultures to dive into, of religions to follow and things like that, so that they could just do whatever the hell they want to do and have a great time. Keep going.
Come
that it on for.
Yeah, come down. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 5 in the Hebrew. Wayarad, Yahweh, Lara'af, Atha, Ha'ayra, Wa'af, Hamagad, Hamagadal, Ashar, Banawa, Banaya, Ha'adam. Verse 6. Wayamar, Yahweh, Hana, Aima, Salaki, Hana, Aima, Achad, Washapah, Achaf, Lakalam, Wazah, Hakalam, La'ai Shawaf, Wa'ai Faha, La'a, Yabatazar, Maham, Kal, Ashar, Yazamawa, La'aishawa. Verse 7. Habaha, Nabrada, Wanabala, Shem, Shapatham, Ashar, La'a, Yashama, Ayasha, Shapath, Ra'ayahawa. Okay.
11.
Was that verse 8? No, that was verse 7. I think I just.
Yeah, just go. You going to 11.
Okay, come. ويبتزع يهوى أثم مشم عيل بنيا كال هاراتزا ويخدا لوا ويكدالوا لمناث هايرا هايرا. Verse 9. Ayr, Khan, Korah, Shema, Babal, Kaya, Shem, Balala, Yahweh, Shapaf, Kal, Haratza, Wamasham, Hapayatazam, Yahweh, Ayr, Panaya, Kal, Haratza, Pa. Verse 10. Allah, Thawalada, Shem, Ban, Ma'af, Shana, Wayawalad, Atha, Arapah Kashad, Shanathayim, Achara, Hamabawa. Verse 11. Wayachaya, Shem, Acharaya, Hawala Yedawa, Atha, Arapah Kashar, Arapah Kashad, Hamash, Ma'awat, Shana, Wayawalad, Banayam, Wamanawat, Sa.
What verse was that?
That was 11, sir.
11.
So go back to 4.
Yep. No, started at verse 5.
Okay, come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 5 in the English. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built.
The Lord came down, right? Meaning what? Like the Lord sent angels. You understand? The Lord sent angels to see what was going on, to see what the people were talking about, what they were doing. You understand? Go ahead, keep going.
Come. Verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have one language.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, man. Christianity win. You understand? But look, we won. We a human race. We made it. We done made it, man. People, we all together with that song on Lion King. We are one. You understand? We all done did it.
Okay.
All the animals all together. The deer, the lion, and elk. They all friends and family now. Mm-hmm. That's great. That's the Lord wanted. Here we go, my son. All that separation talk.
Right.
Here we go, man. This thousands of years ago. And the people did what you can't. Christian, y'all better step y'all game up, man.
Right.
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much, man. The thousands of years, they ain't have Instagram. They ain't have Facebook, no Twitter. They ain't have massive cathedrals. They had none of that, man. They did it. Read one more time. They did it, did they not? Let me make sure.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one.
They are one. They did it. They accomplished the Christian goal. No sweat. Let's keep going.
God, they have all one language.
They all have one language. They all speak English.
Right.
Chinese speak English. The Russians speak English. The Africans speak English. Hawaiians speak English. Of course, America speak English.
Right.
All right. That's a good thing, right? Come on.
Come. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them.
Man, look. Christianity power.
Right.
Nothing will be restrained from them. Why, man? Because you're going to get the greatest minds from China. You're going to get the greatest minds from Africa.
Right.
You're going to get the greatest minds from whatever else you want to talk about. You understand? You're going to get the greatest of everything.
Right.
The problem is this, though. You're going to get the greatest minds from Africa, but you're also going to get them monkeypox.
That's right.
You're also going to get COVID from China.
Damn right.
You're also going to get that AIDS and that HIV and them sexual transmitted diseases that you ain't even heard of yet.
Right.
You understand? The Lord is very creative. He made Ain't no telling what the Lord will do to you, man.
That's right.
And so, you keep thinking that by coming together with all these people is a good. I tell you what, I tell you one thing. I bet you don't want to come together now.
That's right.
What they saying now? Stay away from people.
That's right.
Don't touch people. Don't allow bodily fluids to get up on you. You understand? Why would we stay away from people? Why would we separate from people, man? Because that monkeypox is coming and it's going to slow you down from your wicked ways, man.
That's right.
But Christians believe that coming together with all people is a good thing, man. And let me tell you why. And don't let me get off topic too much. Let me tell you why Christians teach that coming together is a good thing. The reason why your oppressor wants you to believe that coming together is a good thing is because as you come together, you will make his empire grow.
Right.
That's it. You coming together with him and bringing your minds, bringing your Benjamin Carsons, bringing your bringing your Thomas Jeffersons, bringing your people and your great minds and your talents to his nation is only going to grow his tower.
That's right.
It's only going to help him reach the stars faster when he has the greatest minds from China to help him, when he has the greatest minds from Russia to help him, when he has the greatest military force to help him. Otherwise, what the hell is the point of a military?
Right.
If life is about coming together and just everyone living equally and being kumbaya with each other,
right,
then what is the point of a military? What are you fighting yourself against? Everyone should be coming together. Right. I mean, everyone speaks English. I mean, we're reading it here in the Bible. They did it. They came together. So there's no point in them having a military when everyone loves each other. Right. Everyone is with one another. The problem is that America knows that there's a such thing as an enemy. America knows that there's a such thing as different nations. Right. And he has to protect his own nation, which is why he has to have a military. It's why Russia has to have a military. And Africa, right, and Nigeria and Hawaii and everything else underneath the sun has to have a sense of protection over what's their own. Otherwise, there is no need to have protection.
Right.
You understand? Let me. Maybe that's too complex. Let me make it very simple for you, okay?
Come on.
I'm a father. I got 13 sons. They all live in my house. Do I need a weapon for protection?
Okay.
Why? They my sons. We all love each other. So when I'm about to be cooking breakfast with a gun on my hip just to make sure that none of these niggas come and jack me for the eggs in the morning, what I need a weapon for? We all family, right? We all love one another. These are my children, my friends, my brothers, my family members, my mom, my dad, my aunts, my uncles. If we are all one, then what do I need protection for? I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't need protection. But that is the difference between America and an actual family. Right. America knows that they are not your family. That's right. America knows they have no intentions of ever joining and being one with you and being able to let their guard down and turn their back on you. They have no intentions on ever doing that because they have to protect their real family. That's right. You understand? And so all of that is just a hoax. And the truth is that the Lord hates it. The Lord hates for us to think that we have even the idea of coming together with all these other nations, right? Because the Lord knows exactly what I just told you. The Lord knows exactly what I just told you, and as He's watching you fight and march to come together with the people, He's shaking His head. That's right. Because He's like, how the hell do they not get that these people want them dead? That's right. And they fighting to go with it. It's like, God damn, it's like roaches at the door, knocking at the door, like trying to come inside. Like, do you not know the second you cross the threshold, you getting stepped on? That's right. You understand? And for the roaches that look, I'm playing around right now. I'm gonna get off of it, man. But for the roaches that come in the house and look at you and start talking, speaking English, you ain't gonna step on that one. Hold on, that one. Can you talk to other animals for me? They say, yeah, I can talk to any animal for you. Right. Can you get them to do what I say do? I can get them to do whatever you want. Right. Just let me live inside your house. All right, you dirty, nasty roach. You can help me. So I'm gonna let you live inside my house, but don't you get out of order. Right. You understand? Otherwise, I'm gonna step on you. That's right. And then that's the life of Black people, man. That's right. That's it. It's as simple as that. You get out of order, then you're going to get stepped on.
That's right.
And they're going to show you how much of a roach you are. You understand? But the Lord hates it. The Lord would hate for that roach to be trying to get him inside that house. The Lord would rather that roach just go be with the other roaches.
That's right.
Just go be with them. If they think that you're filth and disgusting and nasty, then just go be with the rest of the filthy, disgusting, nasty people, man.
That's right.
You understand? And this is what the Lord is trying to tell Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, man, that we should learn from this. But let me not jump the gun, because right now they made it. Let's keep reading that one more time. They did it.
Book of the Genesis, chapter 11, verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Most High in Christ. Let's go.
Verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language.
Oh, now the Lord is giving an order to the angels, man. He said, go to, and let us confound their language. What does it mean to confound their language?
To make them confused, sir.
Right. He going to confuse them.
Right.
You don't want this. Hold on, Christians. Hold on. I was with you. Now the Lord's saying something different. He's sending the angels to do something different.
That's right.
It look like the Lord ain't all about peace and love, because you had peace.
That's right.
You had peace. You had world domination. You had your human race that you asked for, all one language, peace, and everything you wanted to do, you was going to be able to do it.
Right.
The Lord said, let us go down and confound their language. Keep going.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
That they may not understand one another. The Lord don't want you to even understand what them Japanese people talking about, man.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Damn right.
It's a beautiful, I don't need to know what y'all, that Xinhua. I don't need to damn go to school and learn what the hell you talking about.
Right.
I know one thing, don't cross my threshold of my household.
Damn right.
Don't come to my neighborhood and start murdering my children. Don't come into my neighborhood and start trying to get us to start eating pangolins and bats and cats and dogs.
Right.
Don't do that. And that's the spirit that Black people should have, man. We don't need to know what them Chinese people do. You understand? But we should let them know, hey, don't come over here thinking you're going to set up shop in our neighborhood and rape our people dry.
Damn right.
You understand? Like the way, and it always gets me, man, the way, like back in the 80s and the 90s, man, where the drug dealers, not the drug dealers, but the gangbangers, the gangsters would go and tax, you understand? They would tax the storefront properties. They would tax the, people who had stores in the neighborhood. They would go in there and say, you got to pay up for the protection, man. I wish, of course, I'm not saying that, to do this.
Right.
But, I wish I had a lot of money and could make movies, right? I would make a movie about this, man. But I wish to see, someone going to Neo Japan and say, pay up. You made all the money off Black people. We need 20% to send that back to the neighborhood. Right. We need 20% to send that back to Cornwallis, to send it back to Bragtown, to send it back to Hoover Road. We need 20% to send it back to LA. You understand? Because these people are making you rich, yet they're poor. And we don't need to know what you saying. All we need to know is money now.
Right.
Money, here's the price. Money now. You understand? And then you better not feed us dogs or it's going to be a problem. If we find out that there's cats coming inside of your restaurant, it's going to be a problem.
That's right.
We find out there's anything unlawful coming inside of your restaurant, it's going to be a problem. And that's all they need to know. We go in there with dog signs. No dog, no cat, or problem. Done. And we need to talk to them no more. You understand? And really, we don't even need them in our neighborhoods anyway. You understand?
Damn right.
Like that'll be like one hell of a blessing. It'll be like the greatest blessing and a gift that a Chinese man could ever get in his life. You understand? That he would be allowed to set up shop in a Black neighborhood, man.
Right.
And then imagine if that was the case. Imagine what you would feel like going into a Chinese restaurant. You would never hear, hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. What you want? You would never hear none of that. Right. You would hear, sir. They would bow to you and they're like, sir.
Damn right.
Like they do each other. They go to each other. Konnichiwa, sir. You understand? Like you would walk in a Chinese restaurant looking rough and rugged, sweat holes in the sweatpants, dirty tank top on, and they would, sir, what you want? You want this? You want seats? You want this? You want this? Because they would just be so pleased that your community allows them to come in there and make a little bit of money.
Right.
You understand? But because of Christianity, we teach that we have to love them. But the problem is that they don't love you.
That's
You
right.
understand? And the Lord hates it. Keep going.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Verse 9. Therefore is the name of it called Babel.
It's called Babel. Babel means like this. Let's give it a name. Let's give it an actually name. Right. Babel, a confused noise made by a number of voices. Right. That's what Babel means. So imagine a bunch of Chinese, Japanese, Africans, and they all in there. Or African people in there clucking all day.
Right.
It just sounds like a bunch of babble. They don't know what the hell is going on, and it's going to force them to have to do what? It's going to force the clucking people to get the clucking people.
Right.
It's going to force the Ichinashi people to get with the Ichinashi people.
Right.
It's going to have to force the Nihao Kailan people to get with the Nihao Kailan people, so that they can understand what the hell they're doing and survive.
That's right.
Keep going.
Come, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
So not only did the Lord separate their languages, but he separated the people.
Damn right.
He wanted their people to be, solely for their people. He wanted the Chinese to be solely Chinese, African to be solely African. You understand? Keep going.
Come. Book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived, verse 11, and Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters.
All right, I'll go back to Hebrews, start at verse 12.
Okay. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 12 in the Hebrew. Wa'arapah kashad chaya chamash washalah shayam shanaha wayawalad atha shalach. Verse 13. Wayachaya arapacha shida arabakashda acharaya Hawala Yadawa Atha Shalacha Shalash Shanayam Wa'arabai Ma'awaf Shana Wayawalad Banayam Wabanahawa Wabanawan Slakya Wabanawaf Sa. Verse 14. Washalach Chaya Shalashayim Shana Wayawalad Atha Ibar. Verse 15. Wayachaya Shalach Wacharaya Hawala Yadawa Atha Ibar Shalasha Shanayam Wa'arabai Ma'awaf Shana Wayawalad Banayam Wabanawaf Sa. Verse 16. Wayachaya Ibar Arabai Washalashayim Shana Walawalad Atha Palag. Verse 17. Wayachaya Ibar Acharaya Hawalayadawa Atha Palag Shalashayim Shana Wa'arabai Ma'awaf Shana Wayawalad Banayam Wabanawaf Sa. Verse 18. Wayachaya Palag Shalashayim Shana Walawalad Atha Ra'ayawa. Sorry, so what last time?
18.
Okay, come.
That was it?
Yeah, come.
All right, go back to verse 12.
Come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 12 in the English. And Arphaxad lived 35 years and begat Salah. Verse 13, and Arphaxad lived after he begot Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 14, and Salah lived 30 years and begat Ebar. Verse 15, and Salah lived after he begat Ebar 403 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 16, and Ebar lived 430 years and begat Peleg. Verse 17, and Ebar lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 18, and Peleg lived 30 years and begat Ruth.
And so that, again, is just going to continue going down into the generations of Shem. And from there, we're going to pick back up. But for now, we're going to imagine. Wapayakwadam, Jesus, turn and face the east. And we're going to end out with the prayers.
Okay.
We're starting with the Lord's Prayer.
Okay. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malafka, Saba'ah, Ratzayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathaninawa, Lakal, Cow, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kapawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kapawafnawa, Wala'ah, Sabayanawa, Manasaya one, Habal, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalak, Wahala, Wahaparath, La'awalayam, Aman, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven, give us this day, our daily bread, forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debts, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be. And then Hakak, is the cock of the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Yahweh Ba'Hashem. Yahweh Shah. Baba Kashah. Nathaniel. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kamakallah. Wakal Hakak. Natahar. Hamatazrai. Hakak. Lahakoy. Hamathyam. Hakak, Al-Rakawaf, Hatama Allah, Lagar Ba'Hashem Yahushua, the water of mud, in the English, Yahweh, in the name Yahushua, please give us the power, the power to heal all manner, of sickness, and all manner, of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Prayer for the blessings come. It's a blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Al-Hayim. Matazabaya. La Alawat Yahana. Ha Alawat. Ha Sarani. Ha Kotazadoya. Ha Kwayoyim. Ha Wa Akwati. Yahweh Hashem. Yahweh Shah. The water of mud. In English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Michael. And the angels. Commander General Yahana. The general. The captain. Officer. The trooper. And the sister. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Now, Psalms 121. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Harayim. Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regalika, Aliyanawam, Shamar, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayasha, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazak, Ayah, Yamamam, Hashamash, La'ah Yakaka, Wayrak, Bayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapash, Yahweh, Yashamar Taza Afka, Wabawafka,
Wabawafka,
Ma'itha,
Ma'itha,
Wa'ai Awalam.
Wa'ai Awalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes under the
From
hills.
whence cometh my help?
From whence comes my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
When I suffer thy foot to be moved,
He that keepeth thee
he that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
he that keepeth Yasha'Allah
is Salaki, shall not slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even from evermore.
3.
Come on. The book of Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Allahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Adam Yalakah,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Thakaraj,
Al Tashakwat,
Al-Thashakwat,
Al
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabayaka,
Awayabaka, it's like
Yahama Yawan,
Yahama Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amaka,
Al-Amakah,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
Ya'ira Yawan,
Sawadah,
Sawadah,
Wayaso, Slagi, Wayasa, Yatazawa,
Wayatha Yatazawa,
Al-Sapawanya,
Al-Tazapawanya,
Amaro,
Amaro,
Nakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakayadi,
Wadiyakayadi,
Magayawa,
Magawan,
Wala Yazaka,
Wala'a Yasakar,
Sham Yasha'Allah,
Sham Yasha'Allah,
Awadah,
Awadah,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Naitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadawa,
Yakadawa,
Alika,
Ayaka,
Bayaraf,
Bayaraf,
Yakarawath,
Yakarwa,
Alaya,
Alaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa Yashamai Alayam,
Wayashama Alayam,
Mawa Aba'a,
Mawa Aba'a,
Wagariyam,
Magarayam,
Gabal,
Abo,
Wayama,
Wayamam,
Walamak,
Wayamak,
Alashaf,
Kalashaf,
I'm Labaya Wat,
I'm Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Selah,
Ashah, Laham,
Lashah Laham,
Kamadiyan,
Gamadayan,
Kasaya Sarah,
Kasai Sarah,
Kaya Bunyan,
Kaya Bayan,
Manakal,
Balachal,
Kayashawan,
Kayashwan,
Nashadawa,
Shadawa,
Bayan the Ira,
Ida Ira,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Damwa,
Dama,
Naadama,
Adama,
Shayatamawa,
Shayatamwa,
Nadab Yamawa,
Nadan Yamawa,
Kaira,
Kaira,
Ashar,
Aisha,
Ayamawa,
Imara,
Naishara,
Naira Rasha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Af,
Af,
Naawaf,
Nawaf,
Alahayim,
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 Ayahayim,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagalaga,
Kagalaga,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapayaraka,
Lapaya Rakwa,
Kaash,
Ka'ash,
Ira Yaira,
Rabia Ira,
Wakaraba,
Wakalaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Halayum,
Harayam,
Kantarakama,
Kantaratapama,
Basarika,
Basarika,
Wabasa Wapafka,
Wabasa Wupafka,
Falaham, Tabalaham,
Tabalaham,
Malaha,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panaham,
Kalawan,
Kalawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shaka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabawa,
Waya,
it's like a Wayabalaw,
Wayabalaw,
Ayida Ay,
Ayada Ayda,
Wayakapara,
Waya Kapara,
Wayabadwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya the Ayu,
Waya the Iowa,
Kayatha,
Kaya Tha,
Shaka,
Shaka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Alawan,
Alawam,
Alakaha, Aratiza.
Alkaha, Alaratiza. In English, keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumble.
thine enemies make it tumble.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
That have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people
And consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against thy hidden
They
one.
have said,
They have said,
Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasha'Allah
That the name of Yasha'Allah
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are conspired against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
Moab,
of Moab
and Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre,
with the inhabitants of Tyre,
Assur
Assur
also
also
is joined with them.
is joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Selah,
Selah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the
as
Midianites,
to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabez,
as to Jabil,
at the brook of Kasam,
at the brook of Kisar,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb,
like a Reb,
and like Zeeb,
like Zeeb,
yea, all their princes,
all their princes,
as a Ba,
as they buy,
as a Moon,
as the moon,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh,
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
Oh, my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a
as
wheel,
a stumble before the
as
wind,
they stumble before the wind,
as a fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burns the
and
wood,
as a flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them
So persecute them
with that tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm,
Fill their faces with shame,
fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that they may may know
that thou, whose name alone
is Yahweh,
art the most high,
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So, you go ahead.
Slide. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute unto the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua slide. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bakatha.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yajimata, class dismissed.
And so when we come back, we will start on Genesis 11 and verse
11 and 19.
All right, shalom.